I want to be the Pied Piper for people to be more insular with their decision making. That's it.
What does that mean?
Not mom's opinion, not dad's opinion, not your girlfriend's opinion, boyfriend's, best friend, random people on social media, acquaintances, idols, people you admire. You for you. You for you. At this moment.
Yeah, but people don't know themselves that well, I feel like.
Great, but even if
time.
I think that's a great point. I think that a lot of times I've historically taken things for granted that I was gifted DNA-wise. I am only palpable because I have self-awareness. I have such an extroverted personality that if I didn't have good parenting and have a level of equal humility to that, competitive spirit, audacity, confidence, I'd be tougher to consume. Mm-hmm. But even recognizing that some people on first impact will not consume me well allows me to be thoughtful about my adjectives, my words, how I navigate. I agree with you. But if I'm the Pied Piper of only for you, inevitably the next chess step is for us to start talking more about self-awareness.
Right.
Do you feel like there were moments in your life where you were able to make bigger leaps in your self-awareness, realizing what you actually cared about so that other people can hear what those are and then look at them for themselves?
Yes, I think when I started putting out wine content and later business content, my inherent intuitive understanding that I need to read all the comments created a very intriguing internal understanding versus an external understanding, even though I was consuming external feedback. Mm-hmm. By seeing myself through other people's eyes, pro, con, and indifference, it started challenging myself to even have more of an interpersonal, inner voice conversation. And I also have an ambitious streak in me. I have an enormous ambition to be liked. And if you care about that, then you inevitably, it's this very big contradiction where I desperately want to be liked, but at the same token, actually don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. And in that constant tension has created a practice of self-awareness.
But you have to care a little bit what somebody thinks. There has to be some level of giving.
I respect what people think because it's their opinion.
Right.
But I could never make a decision of my life based on somebody who has no idea who I am. Mm-hmm. Guys, your mother doesn't know who you are completely.
It's true.
This is very true though, right? Like if you think about it, right? Like you take the 5 to 7 people that you are closest to on earth, and then there's a bunch of people in the room right now. If you really do this is super interesting to me, and you actually think about what they don't know, how the hell is a friend or an acquaintance or a random comment gonna know what the hell, and that's it. That's real life to me. And so how in a world where I know that to be true, can I let somebody else dictate my decisions? Because they're not dealing with all the information. They're just not, and by the way, the people closest to you usually have some vested interest in what you're doing, financially, emotionally, to brag about, and so they're giving you bad data. Your parents are giving you bad information because they care about what they're telling their sister about you, what they're saying about you at the country club, what another alpha mom in the neighborhood's gonna post on Instagram about you if you do this thing. They're insecure too.
Right. Have you ever looked at a commentary about what you're doing, either good or bad, and thought, I'm taking that to heart, even if it's something?
Of course. Yeah. I love feedback. I just don't blindly, I take pieces of it.
Mm-hmm. Right, you just want to decide what you agree with.
Somebody's comment on my Instagram post is based on 1 minute of a clip of a conversation. They don't have the full context of even that conversation, let alone me as a human. So I have to take it with a grain of salt, but it doesn't, just being insular doesn't mean you become delusional and become so self-centered that you can't hear feedback. First, I think we have to have a conversation of what imposter syndrome is. Imposter syndrome is the slang term for insecurity. First we gotta do that. We've made it a cute term that feels kind of all right. And I actually think that's a good thing. I don't say that, I think insecurity is a power. I think everyone's hiding from it. I think you just need to look it in the face. Everyone in this call should be insecure in certain meetings. You're 4 seconds into the game. You're a human being, of course. What I would say is, if you realize that you are talk about a safe space, I expect very little from all of you except to try, be good people, and try to learn. I don't need you to get crazy in the meeting and come up with the most profound consumer insight in the history of time. Let me give you something that you can carry with you forever. The other thing that makes people insecure is you want your bosses to like you or think you're good. Here's the good news. As long as you're fully yourself and you have good intent, if you find a place where your bosses don't feel that, you can go somewhere else. It happens within Vayner. As great as Vayner is, and it's great, there's pockets where it's not great because an executive right now has decided they don't like me and this company anymore, and they're not going to be as nice the next month until we figure it out and try to fix it. You know, like, it's life. Somebody who's the best just had bad news in their personal life, and for the next 3 months, they're not going to be the same selves in meetings, and they might be a little snippy with you, not because you're bad, but because they found out that their mom has terminal cancer and they haven't been ready to share it with anybody. They're crushed. Life's complicated, you know? But what I can say is stop being insecure because it's not that serious. This is just a job. Like what? I promise you, if all of you get fired 8 jobs in a row, your life is still gonna be epic. We've done a lot of things societally wrong. One of them is we're just taking way too many things way too serious. And so, you know, I just really hope that you realize that, of course, you're gonna have some insecure moments every day at work. You're still learning. Some of you haven't even grasped the thing you're supposed to be learning yet. I'd be insecure as fuck as that if I'm like, I fucking don't understand what this math is, or I'm not really sure what the fuck Gary's saying with all these acronyms, or like I get it. But you're good news, you're 9 seconds in. Nobody here is judging you to master anything. We want to see the intent, the effort, the humanity, and the capacity to continue to build. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is why I hate school. Everyone's insecure because you think you need to get an A. There's no fucking A in here.
And one of my favorite things that you talk about is like, you should not have shit figured out in your 20s. It's okay to be overwhelmed, to go chase that dream, to go traveling, to go do whatever the hell you want to do. So I'm curious, like, was there...
Especially, and I want all of you to hear this. I apologize, Paige.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Especially, all that shit I talk, especially if you're standing on your own 2 feet financially. Where people get fucked up on like, yeah, Gary's told me to travel the world and this and that. Like, you know, like if your mom and dad are paying for it, like that's different. If you're doing like a job for 3 months, saving, and then going with your homie and like rugging it out, that's fucking epic. You earned it. Where people get caught is, I don't think there's anything bad about getting support from your parents, but I'm gonna give you a really good piece of advice. If your parents are financially helping you, you need to change your tone and tenor how you interact with your parents.
Fair
like,
enough.
respect that. That's where people get fucked up, because what I'm trying to keep you all away from is entitlement, because that destroys a soul. You know why so many people are unhappy? They expect everyone to do everything for them. They expect the government to do it for them, their parents to do it for them, their company to do it for them, their boss to do it for them, their boyfriend to do it for them, their girlfriend. Like, get off that. The quickest way I can promise to make all of you happy is to stand on your own 2 feet and be accountable and expect from yourself. You will get so much happier, I promise.